Hello, 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 bright blessings to one and all. This is a short video. As there has been a question posed in the community of Ascension to Love about the moon, the beautiful sister moon, and how she affects us, right? How she affects us, because we are, as human beings, we're made up of this planet. We have the whole solar system within our very cells, that magic of creation within us, right? And cosmic transits affect us, but specifically the moon, sister moon. So I just wanted to bring a little bit of information forward, and we could go very deep here, but I'd just like to keep it kind of useful and flowing. So let's just talk a little bit first about the moon and why she has this influence over us. So the moon governs the seas, the tides, the oceans, water, right? And we're made up of a lot of water, right? And our blood is actually very similar in structure to the sea, you know, with the salts in it and everything like that. Our bodies respond to the moon, and that's why if you're a female and you have a menstrual cycle, that's why the ancient name of that would be the moon cycle, because it would be usually aligned with the moon phases, and your body would respond to whether she is waxing, waning, full or new. So let's just have a little look at what that is, what that means, like those different phases of the moon, because there are some people who do get very affected emotionally, right, when it's a full moon, for example, or tired when it's a different phase of the moon, and etc, etc. So let's start with the new moon, right? So the new moon, every moon phase lasts a while. They last around 7 days or so. New moon's usually just maybe the 2 or 3 days around it where that magic is there, but every moon phase lasts around 7 days. We could get into the houses of the moon, you know, like whether she's in Scorpio or Cancer, etc, etc, but we're not going to look at that in this video. We're just going to look at the moon phases and how that affects you and how you can work with that. So we have the new moon. The new moon is all about planting seeds, right? It's all about really harnessing and developing and creating, like starting something new. It's a rebirth moment, right? And you go deeper usually within yourself, and really you know, it brings up things to, you create things in the new moon that you will be harvesting in the full moon, right? And that's the way that the new moon works. So it brings a lot of inspiration, a lot of motivation, it brings a lot of rebirth, a lot of new beginnings, right? On a basic level. So energy starts to build from the new moon, and then she moves into the waxing moon, right? And the new moon, just to elaborate, the new moon is when the moon is between the sun and the earth. So she's in shadow, so you can't really see her. Right? Then you have the waxing moon. This is when you're growing those ideas that you just planted, growing those seeds, nurturing those seeds that you just planted in that new moon. So your energy starts to grow, right? This is where the next steps become apparent, right? The moon ties in very well with dream phases, right? So if you study your dreams and work with the sacred messages of your dreams, then they are very, very, a lot of information comes through there, but once again, that may be for another video. You will also be shown in the waxing phase of the moon, especially in your dream time, anything that is holding you back, and this will show up in your real life as well. So anything that is maybe obstructing you from harvesting those seeds that you've planted in the new moon will show up in the waxing moon, the next moon phase, right? So that you can work with them and release them. Now the full moon's a biggie, right? The full moon's a biggie because we always hear about people joking, oh, it's a full moon tonight, you know, when people are getting a little bit kind of raucous outside, or you know, stuff's going on. And the full moon is really quite an interesting thing because of that link, that connection with our emotions, with our water cycles and everything like that. The full moon has a tendency, you know, because this is where whatever you've planted in the new moon, this is where it comes into harvest, right? You harvest it in the full moon. When you can see the moon, when she is reflecting that sun's light, because she's opposite the sun and the earth is between the sun and the moon. So this is where whatever you create in the new moon, this is where it gets harvested, is that full moon. And this is where the peak of that energy starts to culminate. Now it's so important during a full moon phase to actually drink lots more water. Right, and we don't realise that. We must be drinking much more water, especially when it's a full moon, when the energy is peaking, when we are harvesting what it is that we've been creating. if you do feel like you get triggered by the full moon, so if you feel a little bit grumpy, a little bit grouchy, I know a few people have said that to me. I'm like, oh, I'm affected by the full moon, so I'd rather just mark it on my calendar and hide away. No, don't do that. The moon is showing you something. She's showing you what is ready to be released. The moon, she shows you that. She shows you what you may be not seeing on an emotional level, right? Because once again, she influences and governs those emotions, right? Then from the full moon, you get the waning moon. This is where we go into reflection, right? This is where we introspect. This is where we start to release what no longer serves, right? So anything that is needing releasing after the full moon, you have the waning moon. That's when that happens. The energy slows down a little bit, right? As we move through that space of time, releasing what isn't serving us into that new moon. So if you have noticed, or maybe you haven't noticed yet, but this can happen, if you notice that you feel a little bit more maybe irritated inside, internally, kind of like wanting to move about a bit, you know, kind of feeling that, what's the word? You know, where you just kind of need to move your body a little bit, just like you need to do something. Restless, thank you. If you're feeling a little bit restless around that full moon, a couple of things that you could do which would make that space of time really much smoother and easier. Drink lots of water to allow whatever is wanting to release and culminate, allow that to move through you. Move your body, physically move your body, because at the full moon you are harvesting what it is that you have been planting, right? So whatever you planted in that new moon is harvested at the full moon, you know, so allow that energy to move through you, right? So move your body, drink lots of water. You needn't hide away if you are someone that does that, or someone that kind of doesn't book meetings and appointments and things like that. You needn't do that if you listen to what the moon is trying to tell you, because she's bringing out and drawing out within you. It's like a magnet. She draws out and enhances within you whatever is whatever you might not be seeing or hearing or acknowledging. So on an emotional level, there are things wishing to show up and release, right, in that full moon to waning moon phase, that that you're wanting to release, that you may be ignoring. So she's showing up for a reason, right? So do listen to Sister Moon, you know, and do start to notice when the moon phases are. You know, you'll notice it in your energy anyway. Your energy will start to feel inspired and fresh around a new moon, and build up through that waxing moon and culminate at the full moon, and then release through the waning moon. Start to notice those energies and start to work and plan around those, right? You know, allow the inspiration and the energy and the emotion to move through you as it gets pulled through you, right? As it gets magnetized and drawn through you and enhanced by that beautiful moon. She is a part of you, right? She is a part of you. Just like so is Mother Earth, so is Brother Sun, and so is the Cosmic Father, right? They are all a part of you, and they all draw from you and do certain things within your body and kind of help us in certain ways. The final thing I will say about beautiful Sister Moon is, you know, open yourself up to her. She allows you to prepare for dream time, right? She allows you to prepare for the astral travel. That she works with the subtle bodies, right? So if you are noticing that your energy is feeling interesting or different around certain phases of the moon, it's because she's working with your subtle energy bodies, your astral body as well. But allow yourself, especially in beautiful different moon phases, to actually open yourself up to the moon, stand underneath the sky and just allow yourself to moonbathe and just to connect with her. That's a really beautiful thing to do as well. You know, she charges up your astral body, she charges up your subtle energy body, your emotional body, and she helps you process things. So if you are one of those people that notice that you are more affected at certain lunar phases than others, really listen to what it is that she's saying, because she has a message for you and she's helping you release something or start something or create something or nurture something that maybe you're not fully realizing or not fully listening or hearing yet. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful. She's very tuned into that spirituality, that emotion. So if you are looking to get more spiritual and delve more into that, be under the moon, connect with Sister Moon. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. I love you all so much. So many blessings of love, joy and abundance to each and every one of you, and thank you for tuning in live or on the replay. So much love to you. Bye for now.